Caught up in the chaos, panicked parents rushing to a San Antonio high school.
This scene underscoring the fear and distrust among so many after the elementary school shooting in Uvalde. That chaos and confusion unfolding after Jefferson High School was placed on lockdown this afternoon.
Police were soon faced with a mob of terrified parents wanting to make sure their kids were safe. And some parents apparently didn't believe officers when they were told they were. Again, apparent fallout from what happened in Uvalde. Officers made it clear there was no shooting on campus, but there were clashes.
And our Courtney Friedman is live at Jefferson High School this afternoon. Courtney, you were there right in the middle of this chaos. Tell us how this played out.
Yeah, Stephen, Myra, I was actually called out really soon after parents got that call that their children were on lockdown here at Jefferson High School. We got here as parents were arriving. Right behind me, it actually started out pretty calm, though, and I want to make sure we talk about that part, too. Behind me, they had a line of parents. People were calmly lining up just to make sure that it was easy to receive their children once the lockdown was being lifted. When we got here, they did say that the lockdown would soon be lifted. Now, before we get to the chaos that ensued, I do want to make sure to say the most important part of this. There was no shooting here today on Jefferson High School's campus. They did not find a weapon either. But a student did make an anonymous call to SAPD around 1 this afternoon saying there had been a fight on campus and there may have been a weapon involved. That's when the lockdown went into effect. Parents gathered here at the school. Some eventually did rush the building, screaming to let their kids out. We were feet away from the window. Then one man punched and began bleeding. A lot of people took rumors to be true that because a man was bleeding, there were gunshots. That's not the case. The man was bleeding because he punched a window. Officers took him away to treat that injury, but they did not file any charges given the emotion of the situation. The majority of parents stood and listened to the orders, even though they too were scared and emotional.
It's just a lot of emotions. It's very scary just after the whole Uvalde incident. The kids, they want to come home, they want to come out, but with parents acting like this, it's not going to help.
Yeah, during the lockdown, officers swept every classroom and hallway in this large campus and found no weapon on the campus. That's when they cleared the rooms and lifted that lockdown. We caught up with some of the students as they left the campus. They said they practiced for this and knew exactly what to do.
We started barricading the door with desks, chairs, and we went to like the furthest away from the door, and that's about it. I stayed pretty calm. I know a lot of kids were worried.
Yeah, a lot of fear today all around students, teachers, parents, just given, again, what has happened in Uvalde recently. But thankfully, everyone here today on campus was okay. After everything calmed down, I was able to interview the SAISD superintendent about what went right and what went wrong. So make sure you check back in with us at 6 o'clock tonight. I'll be live here from the campus talking about what changes will be happening given what happened today. We're live at Jefferson High School. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Yeah, it's just a new reality a lot of us are living with. I understand the parents' fear. Yeah, thank you, Courtney. KSAT 12 typically does not report on school threats unless it's deemed credible or an arrest is made. But the law enforcement response and the rush from parents made what happened today different.
So many things are different now. Again, there was no shooting at Jefferson High School today. This is a story we are also following online at ksat.com. We'll continue our coverage tonight on the news at 6. Sighs of relief tonight as Jefferson High School students are safe and at home. Around 1 o'clock this afternoon, a student made a call to SAPD reporting a fight and a possible weapon on campus.
That prompted a lockdown and terrified parents swarmed the school. It's the new reality after what happened in Uvalde. Our Courtney Friedman was there as some clashes between police and parents unfolded. Courtney.
Yeah, Stephen, Myra, we were right in the middle of what turned into panic and chaos. But before I talk about that, I just want to be clear that there was no shooting today at Jefferson High School here on campus, and there was no weapon recovered either. Still, everything went into protocol, as has been practiced. The school went into lockdown after a possible threat. Students later confirming that they locked and barricaded the doors and went to the back of classrooms. Uniformed officers then cleared each room and hallway after sweeping the school, finding no threat. As this was happening inside, parents gathered outside the school, understandably panicked after what just happened in Uvalde just a few months ago. For some, emotion did get the best of them, and they rushed the doors of the school today. We were feet away when a man punched a window out, causing him to bleed pretty badly. Police took him away to treat his injuries, but he was not charged given the emotion of today's situation. Photos of that blood, though, near the entrance circulated on social media today, creating rumors that there was in fact a shooting. But again, we can confirm there was not.
I heard the bell for passing period. I got up and then I heard lockdown, lockdown, lockdown. I was like, oh damn, like we need to go and hide.
Especially what happened at Robb Elementary. It's not okay. It's just not.
Clear emotion today. We saw a lot of that, parents crying, but after the scene calmed down, when the children were able to reunite with their families and were given the rest of the day off, things started to simmer down, and we were able to interview SAISD Superintendent Jaime Aquino. He said everything was done strictly according to protocol, and he is proud of his staff and the police officers. As for lessons learned, he said work needs to be done in educating parents on their procedures.
We could not release the student outside if we were not sure that we had a safe condition. We need to do more comprehensive training with our community and parents and family so that they understand what is our expectations of them when we have a lockdown or a situation similar to this.
Yeah, and the parents I spoke to today said they got a call that they answered, or they got a voicemail if they missed the call, and that's how they found out about the lockdown. Communications director for SAISD, Laura Short, also told me here on scene that they should have gotten an email as well. When I did ask if text messages were sent out, she said that is something that they plan to start doing in the future. We're live here at Jefferson High School. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
You can understand that panic after what we've seen in Uvalde and just the emotion across South Texas. But we want to be clear that here at KSAT, we do not typically report on school threats unless they are deemed credible or someone is arrested. But the response from law enforcement and the tremendous response from parents today prompted our report on this.